All right, everybody, wipe your tears away. We've got to get back to work. Second part, final part of our final class. And this is what we've been working towards is our final assignments. And I do not, as we jump forward here, I do not expect perfection or even finished paintings or anything like that. It is more about what we've learned, what we're working on, and what we're going to continue to work on. Again, if you've got a pen and paper,
Yeah.
it is not about the painting I'm working on. It is working towards the next painting.
Mm.
Ready?
Mhm.
Here we go. Moving across. Questions for class. Darlene asked, dark to light. Should I read this, Darlene, or do we want to keep
I
moving
have
on
a
here?
I have a question for the class and nobody's responded to it. Would you respond to it?
All right, so here, let's hear it real quick. Okay, here's my quandary. When I began my painting, my teacher had me, when I began painting, my teacher had me work background to foreground with no mention of dark to light. So when I do this and need to have airy but dark tree leaves or something the background shows through, I can, man, I'm having a hard time reading it. I can't get my background in without messing up or smearing into the leaves or whatever it is. I did not read that well. Can you just say it?
Yeah, I worked from dark to light. I mean from background to foreground, and say you put in a dark tree or whatever it is, something that has light coming through it, and you want to see the background through it. But if you put that dark tree in without putting in your background that's lighter, then when you put your background in that's lighter, how do you do that without smearing up the dark tree? How do you get that background in there, especially if it is a tree with a lot of things going on and a lot of background showing? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, and you're working in oils.
Yes.
So oils are the most difficult. Oils loved, I mean, they're literally, it's in the name, right? They're oily, slippery, little messy beasts. So they do like to blend. So for me, I like to work dark to light. And again, if you got your pen and paper, dark to light, thin to thick. So my darks are my thinner colors generally. Thinner meaning less paint, less oil. Dark to light, thin to thick, and big to small. So big shapes to small shapes. So by keeping my darks light or darks thin, I'm able to layer my paint pretty well. So I'm actually thinking, Darlene, we're going to answer 2 or 3 of your questions in one fell swoop right now.
Mhm.
And it is for you, I bet you 70% of your problems are going to be solved by the amount of paint you're using and the pressure that you're touching the paint with. The other 10% out of 30 that we've left is clean that brush and reload it. Wipe it off with a paper towel. I almost always have a paper towel in my left hand because I'm a right-handed painter, right? And I am constantly, let me grab a paper towel. In between brush strokes, especially when I'm not teaching and I'm not in a hurry and I'm just painting a little bit and I'm painting a little bit. I am, as I step back or as I'm analyzing the painting, and you stay in the paint, right, Darlene?
Yes.
I
Can I
think
just
this is
say,
easy. What's
Yes.
that?
sorry, all we can see is the Padlet page. We can't see you.
Oh, sure. Let me see if I can do a stop share real quick. Okay. So let's pretend I am working on my dark tree and now I'm going to work on my sky, right? I can either use a new brush. So a lot of times you'll see if you visit my studio, you'll see that I'll have a paint brush that has like the dark paints, like the shadowy, darker 30% of the painting. And then I'll have a paint brush that is the medium values and one that's for the lights. If I'm jumping with the same brush from my darks to my lights, it's really hard to squeeze out enough paint. So anyways, in my left hand, I almost always have a paper towel. In fact, often I've got the roll of paper towels under my left armpit so that I'm not forgetting. Keeping a clean brush when you want to keep clean edges is one of the trickiest things with oils. With acrylics, it's a little easier because they are drying between, applications. But keep wiping that brush. And it's not only that I'm keeping a clean brush, it's also reminding me that I need to reload that brush. So if you're anything like me, I have a hard time, and it's become part of my style, is that I scrub a lot. I rub the brush and I paint a lot. I do even some of my color mixing on my canvas. But that creates very soft and somewhat muddy or whatever, diffuse edges. So when I want clean edges, clean that brush. So literally it almost becomes a nervous tick, is when I'm stepping back to look at my painting or I'm thinking about what I'm looking at on my painting, I just automatically just start wiping the brush off.
Yeah, I do that.
Throw that paper towel down. I go through a lot of paper towels. I buy them in 12 packs. And actually now Costco's Amazon's offering them in 24 packs. And I feel like I'm very conscious of the environment. I recycle, I do all the composting, I do all the things, drive a Prius, but I go through a lot of paper towels. So that's my equaling out point. And so keeping a clean brush, and then also it really does become about the pressure. So I can go over a dark tree with light paint, but if I paint like a paintbrush or paint like a pen, my pressure is much more extreme. If I paint like a conductor or, all the different things we say with a soft grip, I can just load that brush up and drop that paint right on top and create these beautiful negative shapes that you're seeing back there.
Yeah.
And, or even the clean edges, wet into wet back there, is all about loading that brush up and putting the paint on top and letting it sit.
Oh, so I think you answered it kind of in the beginning too. One of the things I've always done is paint with real skimpy amounts of paint. And so with this class, I've been trying to change that. And suddenly now I'm using a lot more paint. And so when I put on the dark and it's really thick, now I want to come in and put in the light and I've got a smeary mess. So you just said, put the dark on thinner. And thinner. So and it doesn't then you come back. Yeah.
It doesn't need like more paint thinner. It can just be put your paint on with less on your brush, scrub it in a little bit. So I make comments that in the beginning of my paintings, when I'm putting in my dark shapes, you can hear the paintbrush. It's a scrubby, moving it around sound. And then as I'm building up towards my lights, the paint becomes silent. And I swear to you that my brush is not even touching the canvas. It's literally me just applying the paint across the surface because I'm adding more and more paint to it. Yeah, again, I hate to talk about my own work. Just kidding. I love it. But this wave painting and all the things that come on camera over here. No? Okay. Move it a little more. Is that I had built up the design and I really wanted this to be about redundancy and wave structure. But I had the darks kind of built up and I just couldn't wait to get to those lights because I knew they're going to be much thicker, much juicier paint. Like there's literally like a texture to them, whereas in the shadow areas, there's really not. Same within the rocks. Anyways, we'll get back to that. So hopefully that helps. But thin to thick, dark to light, big shapes to small shapes is really, really, really like some of the main keys that I have to remember. And when I go out plein air painting, I will get ahead of myself and I'll paint in my darks really thick. And the same thing happens. All of a sudden, everything's getting mushy and muddy and convoluted. And I'm just fighting myself. And then I eventually just take my palette knife and just scrape the whole surface down and then start again. So, yeah, keep your darks light or darks thin. And it works in a couple different ways. If your darks are really thick, like especially if it's like black paint, it's very reflective. It's very shiny because of all the oil in the oil paints. And all of a sudden your darks become your lightest areas because they're reflecting bright white glare off of them. So if you paint them thinner, they'll dry more matte, meaning they won't be reflecting as much. So if you've ever tried to photograph a painting with thick darks, it's almost impossible because of the glare.
This is one of the problems with water-soluble oils, is they tend to be shinier than regular oils.
Yeah, that would be a trick. Yeah. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna go back to share. That was a really good question. I'm sure a lot of people were curious about that. And we all battle that. It all, these soft edges where we don't want them soft. Mine Jay's got a question as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Another great class. Thank you. Thank you. It so made me look at some of my paintings. I need to give a few makeovers here, but I do lack the ability to stop being a slave to reference pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
How can I ever shake this?
I also feel the same.
Yeah, no, I think we all do. It is a matter of being too attached and therefore scared to take risks or a lack of experience or all of the above. It's all of the above.
Yeah.
And it never goes away. I mean, even this, again, the references I'm working from this last week is, what's important, what's not, how could I obscure edges, what information. And it's easier to add detail later that you think you need. So that whole questionnaire at the beginning of the thing is so important. And again, what's the painting about? Not like what's the focus, not what's the main subject of the painting, which we're always being taught to look at what's the focus of the painting, but what literally is the painting about? And then 2 quotes. Again, I live by quotes. I live by little mottos in my head because I'm a simple man and I need simple little rhymey concepts. When in doubt, take it out.
Yeah.
If it's not helping, it's hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And then what's the poem I'm trying to tell? I'm not trying to tell you a novel. I'm not even trying to tell you a short story. I'm generally trying to tell you a poem. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the poetry of the piece? Just imagine again, okay, so mind Jay, just sitting in your backyard and you were going to write a poem that's 1 paragraph, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
What is the poem that you're going to tell us about your backyard? Is it the butterflies? Is it the sunlight coming through that's dappling on the backyard? Right? Or are you going to tell us about every blade of grass and every leaf? Yeah, great question. And it's not simple. And it would be completely like if we had different references or the same reference for all of us, we'd all pick different subjects and different things. So yeah, when in doubt, take it out. If it's not helping, it's hurting. And it's easier to add more detail later.
Yeah.
Because now you've figured out the placement and the structure. And sometimes a really busy painting can be beautiful and really interesting. But generally, simple is better.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip this one. You're giving some book suggestions, which I very much appreciate. Okay, so I went ahead and posted a couple of the paintings I've been working on.
Wow.
You guys like to try your hand at critiquing my work,
Yep.
or shall we maybe save that for the end and I
Isn't it?
skip
Yeah.
past it and come back to it?
Come back to it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Alicia is not here this week. But you know, Alicia's our more abstract painter. I mean, I still just really love this piece.
Mm.
Yeah, Alicia's doing a lot of things that I'm like, pray that I don't teach out of her.
Uh-huh.
And so it's really interesting to see a more representational painting, but really nice. Alicia, if you're listening, or get a chance to listen, I would just push my values a little higher. I'd lighten my lights and, you know, figure out, I think this is a great beginning and really interesting. And I think you just have a natural, innate ability to figure out movement and form.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Just
Yeah. Beverly, Drew, tell us a little bit about this. I'm having a hard time actually even knowing what medium you're using.
I did the two sketches, one of this sort of sun going down, and the other one in the evening, and it's a bit lower than that, but there it
Oh
is.
my gosh.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And in fact, that was the previous week's, but the ground was too light, so I glazed the ground with a sort of cloudy colour, a sort of mauvey grey, and just made it that bit darker, so that it hopefully it matches with the sky.
I am totally stealing this idea
Mm-hmm.
and fixing my painting as soon as this class is done. And I walked it up. This is so much more dynamic than mine. But I mean, I guess I made mine purposely soft, but this is really nice. This
Mm-hmm.
has a beautiful movement. You know, you've got some areas where you could, you know, maybe come back with some paint. It feels, you know,
Yeah.
this doesn't match the rest of it. But
Yes,
look at
that funny
color
mark.
transition in there is gorgeous.
Yes.
And I love that you just kept these darks really dark and these darks and yeah, and then the light bouncing up off the sky, coming back onto the tops of these grasses. And this is wonderful.
Good. And then
And then
the
the transition from the light to the warm light to the, you know, a little bit of sky showing through here is cooler, and then it gets quite cool and blue-green. Yeah, what do you think about this one?
I think it's better now the ground matches with the sky.
Sure.
I just kept on having it. It was just too light.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but
definitely.
there it is.
Yeah,
you
this feels
see.
very jumpy, and these little lights feel very glowy, and
Yes.
yeah, no,
exactly.
definitely this feels.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
makes a difference, doesn't
I
it?
just want to ask you guys really quickly, when you see this, and you're okay, yeah, it's a pretty good painting, but it makes me uncomfortable, right? I literally sense paintings like in my shoulders and in my neck, and like it's just something about it. And you're right, it was the values and the, you know, it's way too late. It feels like we're in a car and the headlights are hitting these grasses.
Yes, yes,
And
absolutely.
then when you calmed it down, it feels like, oh man, we're going on this really beautiful stroll. Hope we get back before the wolves come out. And really nice though, like a really great feeling. That's great. And this looks like a super challenge.
Oh, absolutely. I decided it was a bit too much in a week. I did a
Sure,
sketch. It's a bit tough.
No, that's great though. And it is a beautiful image. I mean, it's a lot of information. And then let's talk about this, because this is kind of the inverse of the other one, where the other one was almost
Yeah.
a nocturne, almost, right?
Yes. And I tried to, talking about the Impressionists, I tried very hard to put colors of the same value to give a bit more depth and interest. I did end up by blending some of them, so they just became sort of dark. But it was fun trying, I must say. The
Yeah,
trees
and
I
you
left
can keep
alone.
adding to that by leaving some of your brush strokes alone,
Yeah, yeah,
right? Like you've over softened areas and stuff.
yes,
But again, it doesn't matter. I would call it more of a tonalist, or more
yeah,
atmospheric than an impressionist piece, but it does definitely have impressionist elements to it, where you can
yeah.
see the color mixing and different things. Um, how did you do the sky? It looks like almost a watercolor or a pastel.
Well, the actual truth is, I made an awful bish of the sky, so I just wiped it off, and
Mm,
then I got to a stage where I thought, well, actually, that doesn't look too bad, so I left it
yeah.
alone. Just one of those happy accidents.
Yeah, no, it really is. And it's such a nice counterpart to this one.
Yeah,
It is the same picture, right? I mean, it's the same reference,
yeah,
same
it's
idea.
same reference, slightly
Yeah.
different composition.
It's fantastic. I love that you're able to do that and comprehend and make them both feel like they exist. Like the whole image feels like it exists in this time versus the other one feels like it exists at dusk or whatever. And yeah, lovely.
Good. Thank
This
you.
line is a little bit, I have a hard time not
Firm.
looking at it. It's a little too
Yes.
consistent, a little too firm. I would just,
Yeah.
remix up a little bit of your
Yeah.
road and mess
Yeah.
that up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
great. Anybody? I'm gonna be asking you guys for feedback because it becomes really important that we not only listen to my critiques, but that and I'm sure you're all doing it in your head, critiquing the work and giving feedback. And it's kind of, what would I do differently? What do I really like about it? And that's what makes critiques very useful in a big group like this, is that you're looking at each of these paintings and saying, I love, this purple, or I love these little elements, or I love the strong edges, or I love the diluted sky, whatever it is, but I wouldn't do this, right?
No.
So
Yeah.
we are learning, but I mean, again, all of us are learning from each painting, both what I like and what I would do differently.
Sure.
I don't have much of a critique, more just an observation. I just think that you've gotten so good at trees and not making them too busy, and not that you're too busy with paintings, but particularly trees. It's just a challenge that I have, and I see you do it in that restrained but organic way.
Yeah, very naturalistic, right?
Yeah. And I would love to be able to paint like that. So I see that in yours as like a little motif. We've all got a little motif that always seems to show up. But yeah.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give me 1 second. I obviously have a puppy that's going to be coming in and out, in and out. So, the trees are almost perfection. Like you got a little bit of a hard edge here, but like over here, I mean, the fact that they don't call my attention and I just instinctually know what they are is really nice. That you're not painting trees, you just got dark shapes, light shapes. Yeah, I really, really like this one. Again, this part over here, of course, bothers me a little bit, and that happens in all my paintings where I have areas with less paint and just stand out.
I'm ashamed to say that's the panel, the wood panel.
Exactly, yeah, it comes through.
Yeah.
And you just need to add more paint. I've got that in another big painting I'm working on.
Right.
Yeah, it happens where paint doesn't stick to an area as well, or I ran out of paint. And I just, make a mental note that I have to come back to it.
Right.
Perfect. All right, Brett.
Yes.
Good. You're still here. All right. I'm going to lose you guys here soon. So great. Super fun, super colorful, interesting color choices. I think if we took this into black and white, we're going to see that we could still push the values, which is something we talked about earlier in the class.
Yeah.
I love the Blue Mountain, but at the same time, I kind of hate the Blue Mountain in that I think value wise, it's going to be almost lighter than your sky if I'm squinting my eyes at it, or very much the same. So yeah, I think what you said, literally I'm looking at my notes here, is, you know, design and values and keying in, is that you're getting better and better. But I think that you're I would really just urge you to take photos from time to time, turn it into a black and white grayscale, which you are really good at and you use your iPad a lot. And you'll just notice that, again, if we squint our eyes at it, your values are really close still. So I think that is your, what do you call it? Lowest hanging fruit.
Right.
Your easiest big jump in your paintings is going to be letting your lights be light. And what's going on, and this happens with a lot of us, is that we misconstrue temperature or color for value. So what you're doing is and I could be completely wrong, but what I think you're doing is that you're reading your yellows as lights. They're just bright, but they're quite dark.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
So your values, like these, could be much, much lighter, even your reds. This blue you're reading as a dark because it's a blue, but it's not. It's actually a light color.
Well, actually, that was a mistake. I was actually wanting to light. I was too close to the other one, so I wanted to lighten up, and I overshot it. So
100%.
So I made it, and so I was, to me, was I was actually kind of liking where I was, but it was just not quite right. Then I gave it a hit, and that's where it ended up. So, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
mean.
But you, again, you acrylic painters are almost like cheaters. Like, you can come back in and overlay with opaque acrylic paint and lighten and darken, and like, this just needs one more hit. Like, you know what I mean? One more visit. And again, I very much urge you, take a photo on your iPad, turn it into black and white, look at it and go, okay, where do I want it lighter? Where do I want it darker? Because your temperatures are beautiful. Like, I love the variety of colors, the purples, the grays, the mauves, the blues, the oranges, the yellow. You know, you got a lot of color. Where for me, again, it's all personal. For me, where it's falling apart is in your values. So, and it is seriously a trick to read bright light colors or warm bright colors and not read them as light instinctually. And I think this is going to be pretty sexist on my part here, but I think us guys have a harder time of that. And I think that science backs us up. The guys just don't read colors the same as women.
It's true.
Yeah, we are movement based, where women are color and temperature based, and vibrancy based. And so for a lot of my men, I'm thinking all the way back to when I used to teach at Clark College. And this was, you know, I was teaching 17-year-olds all the way up to 80-year-olds. And so often the issue is with guys is values and colors being confused. And it is a trick. I think I've really had to work on that a lot myself. I don't know. I hate to say this because I say it all the time. Does that make sense? Seeing values for colors, colors for values, temperature.
Yeah, that's a struggle for me, and I'm actually
too.
And I'm actually trying really hard at it. I'm actually feel like I have improved a lot. And
definitely. What I'm going to say is, whatever you're thinking, push it 20% more.
Yep.
But in the lights, your darks are great. I think you're really good at your darks and your neutrals. So I just want you to push your lights to almost an uncomfortable level.
I learned that in the painting before. I think that was probably one of the major lessons I learned, because when I did that one, it's just below it, that one
But I
there.
mean, this is a really, really good example. Like, beautiful painting, love your colors, love the tapestry of this. But if I squint my eyes at it, I lose so much of this painting that values would help bring out.
Yeah. And that was the valuable lesson I learned.
Yeah. So, okay, so here's a good example. Here's your black and white. It's much clearer, but I would push these mid grays to almost white. And only for a while, only as an exercise, only as something to get used to and see what that does for your work, is push your lights to much lighter. And when I work in acrylics, I push my lights almost to white. But then I can either glaze in with some temperature or whatever else. I would love to ask Linda Morgan O'Connor for her opinion on this. Does that make sense about just really, I think he's got a lot of great things going on. Like, the colors are wonderful. And
well, yeah, I mean, I think but go back to the black and white. I mean, I think the value structure there looks
Good. Yeah.
looks good. Now, I have a technical question. Maybe, Cheryl knows a lot about acrylics and use of acrylics. I know that you could go over this and glaze in oils. If you can use a thin application in acrylic and glaze, right?
Sure.
And is
You know
that
what I use a lot, and I would suggest that Brett play with that just once. I have zinc white, and zinc white in acrylics is transparent. And you can glaze over something, and you can't see it at all, but you can push it back.
I think that's what I would try here, because I don't think Brett wants to get into oils at all, but I think the idea of an underlying black and white, if you're really trying to address your values, doing that under that first pass in black and white, and then using glazes over it, it might be something worth trying.
Yeah. I did that with the earlier one. I'm actually thinking, I do have an oil set up, and I'm actually thinking about trying some oil on top of my acrylics, just because I want to get better blending too. I'm pretty linear. And so that was this painting here was,
your values are a little better. You have some light lights, and it reads so much clearer. And then when you came in with the colors, your colors got darker. Yeah.
But also that was kind of, I went into it, wasn't going to glaze it, and I'm glazing. This painting I consider it one of my huge lessons in the last 6 months, because I did a whole lot of different stuff, and I actually kind of liked the result. So that one, it blew up on me, and it got way too colorful, but I don't mind it, But,
but there's a dynamicism here, like a glow that we're losing in all the others. Yeah, that would be that's going to be my homework for you, is to be bolder, push whatever you think is your lightest lights, push them by 10 to 30% more.
Yep.
And let's just see what happens. I can't guarantee this is good advice by any means, but I feel like it's going to be a good informational. Worth a try.
No, actually, I do like the idea. I don't know what's going on here. Because
hello, Detroit.
Hello.
Like a rock band.
Yeah. It was something I was more conscious of lately. And so I'm going to do that even on some of my figure paintings. I do a lot of my figure paintings are basically 3 tones, and I have some, I do some highlights on them, and I'm going to try to push a lot lighter.
Good idea.
And also I can experiment more. I do a lot of experimentation with backgrounds and figure tones, so I'm going to start pushing some lighter backgrounds and see if I can get better values out of it. And also, I'm really plein air painting. I'm going back to plein air painting tomorrow. We're starting up again, so I'll be
okay. So especially in plein air painting, Brett, is that when you're under natural sunlight, unless you're like standing in a nice shady spot, you're going to intrinsically make the paintings darker than they are, because outdoor light is so much brighter. When you bring it into the studio or into your house, you'd be like, holy crap, this is so dark. It's like I painted a nocturne. So when outdoors, I'm actually, even in oils, I'm pushing it up a value or two, just with that knowledge, just because I've come home with so many paintings that I liked, only to find out under artificial lighting, they are so dark. So yeah, really push. Let's almost put whites into your paints.
Okay.
But be careful, because whites often become cold, right? Because white is a cool color. So just a touch of yellow or a touch of red or a touch of orange or whatever you want to do. But let's really, really push it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, like Cheryl says, I'm using more zinc white because it's not so strong.
Perfect.
Is anyone distracted by the pier?
It looks a bit like an aerial.
Yeah. I just wonder, I think it would be so much better to just take it out.
Yep.
My eye is just pulled to that immediately. And the rest of the painting is really pretty beautiful,
Yeah. And the angle, it's standing up. For me.
Phyllis, I have to mute you when you're not talking. So when you talk, Phyllis, you can just hold the space bar down, so it'll automatically remute. I don't know why you're echoing, but I want to hear you. I don't want you to get quiet on us. So yeah, I agree that the pier is unnecessary. It doesn't really help with the story or anything, but I do know Brett's a structural engineer and loves his strong lines and everything else. So yeah, absolutely.
And I can see how it would work. It just, for me, it's standing up in the air. So
yeah.
I threw it into the last. I wasn't going to use it, and I threw it in the last minute. So I got to give it a try. So as soon as I did it, it says, you screwed up.
Yeah, the view from our cabin, which is I paint, 50 times probably now, has multiple docks, and I always try to put the docks in and then always end up taking them out. All right, Cheryl. So nice and moody. So good to see these beautiful greens too. I think we've lost Cheryl.
I worked hard on them.
Yeah, these are really nice. Look at the beautiful reddish green going to the cool greenish green, the yellowish green down to the grayish green. Like I mean, yes, this is something we've talked about for a couple different times with you, both in person and in class. And what I really, really like is these shadow greens here are not necessarily really cool. There's actually a reddish tint to them, and that you've got multiple greens, and then you have this really dynamic reddish sky. I really like this. I think that
Thank you.
a lot of bravery on your part.
Yes, because that sky scares the heck out of me. I tried my best to copy.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think you could have some transitions a little bit better in areas, and then also this tree just being straight across is a little bit distracting. But I mean, I don't know what the reference is. I know there are pine trees.
The reference is pretty straight across, but
I was gonna say I know there are types like that. Remember my yeah, anyways, family members having some of those in their house, in their property. Yeah, this is really nice. Like very
Thank you.
interesting, your movement, your flow through it. It's an interesting one because it feels like I should definitely be drawn to this area, right? The red, strong, bright contrast. But I really like my eye moves across this piece in a lot of different ways. Like I enjoy exploring the whole painting, which is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's lovely and bright and dynamic feeling. And the only thing that bothers me is the lightness of the road. It
Okay.
doesn't fit in the overcast clouds and stuff. It
Sure.
feels like it needs to go down a little in value. But I
Okay.
like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like this building's going to be hit by a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Well, there's a fence there, but I didn't put it in.
Yeah, this is nice. This is especially compared to the one we looked at the week before,
Yeah.
which just this felt so rudimentary to me. Which, you know, again, I'm being mean, but this felt like you were painting things.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a tree, here's some grass, here's some clouds. Whereas now you're really starting to think about the values, the colors, and how they, you know, yes, the road is a little bit separate, but really you're getting a lot of things to feel together. Like the scene feels like it's all in one moment for the most part. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hey, I saw this picture behind Darlene's shoulder.
Yeah. My reference when I printed it off, the tree was totally black. So I knew there had to be something in there, but I wasn't sure what. So I just sort of tried to think about what might be in there. My printer doesn't do a great job on references.
No, and my camera, the photo you're using that's behind you, I can see it, is I mean, again, I think that's like iPhone version 1 photo.
It looks like a just a silhouette, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's there's some really beautiful harmonies going on here and a lot of nice transition. I think that you could have been a little braver with your brushwork. I feel like you became a little bit of a stamping tool with the wild brush.
Actually, I used a sponge.
There you go. Yeah, and sponges.
I wasn't sure how to do it, and then coming back in with color was daunting. I could figure out how to do that without making it smeary.
You have to turn the sponge like you turn your
I have to
brush.
Control myself to not overuse it. Because what happens is it becomes literally a stamp tool. And you're just making the same mark, the same texture.
I don't have good control with a chip brush. It just I even trimmed one down to try to make it do what I wanted it to do, and I just don't seem it. It just looks like a mess when I use the chip brush. So I thought,
Yeah.
how can I make this airy? With what can I do? So I thought, well, okay, I have some sponges, cut them up in little pieces and try that.
Right. I think what I'm going to challenge you to do, I give Brett his challenge of pushing his values. What I'm going to challenge you to do is not use a chip brush and not use a sponge for a little bit, but use.
Oh, thank you. I just get so frustrated when I use that chip brush because I just get a mess and I can't figure out what to do with it. It looks the same. It looks like I've pretty much stamped it, only just stamped it with a chip brush. I can't get the marks out of it that I want.
Yeah, and I think we would all agree, like this area and here, these transitions are so beautiful. Your colors in here are really beautiful. You got these really nice water textures, lots of good things, but it just feels like, it just feels like you used a bit of a stamp tool. So what I'm going to challenge you to do until we meet next or whatever is I want you to get a couple flats, a size 4, 6, and 8 flat brush.
Okay.
That's nice. Just to, go ahead and spend a couple bucks. Get a nice flat. And what I'm going to urge you to do is just to be able to do as much as possible with that, with some paint on it. And we don't care to see all these leaves, especially up here. We don't care to see them over here. Maybe over here is fine, maybe over here. So less is going to be more. I want you to go back to some of my favorite paintings that I think you've done are some of your little Ramona Youngquist studies. And I'm not going to say keep copying, not keep doing Ramona Youngquist, but keep that.
She's my favorite. I love her work.
Well, she's one of the greatest people I know on the planet, so good choice. But I want you to go simpler and bolder, and don't worry about telling us that there's 1 million leaves.
You didn't say what kind of brush, bristle or smooth or etc.
Ooh, good question. I prefer bristle. I'm a very big fan of the chunking hog hair interlocking bristle brush, which is just the generic reasonable brush. But I also like a nice synthetic from time to time because you can really keep a tight edge. Let's just say you had a roof line or something like that. And it's also really nice for blending as a nice synthetic. But for years and years and years, all I used were flat bristle brushes, interlocking, chunking, hog hair bristle brush. And they're the brushes that will hold the most paint. They're the brushes that will take the most abuse. And they're just kind of the generically awesome brush. And what's going to happen, Darlene, is you're going to go, holy crap, I hate Michael so much. Because they're firm and they're strong. And they, like I said, they hold a lot of paint. That's the one real obvious advantage in the beginning. But part two, I see you, Regina, I'll get to you in a second, is that what it does is it really forces you to figure out the pressure that you're loading up the brush and how you're moving it and how you're doing it. And again, you're going to hate me for about a painting or two. And then you're going to go, oh, I get it. Okay. It's not the brush that does most of the work. It is again, pressure, angle, and the amount of paint I'm loading into it. That's going to buy you so much of what you're looking for when you say, I want to figure out brushwork. And that's it. That when you say brushwork, it's different than when Linda Morgan O'Connor says brushwork, because Linda wants softer edges a lot of the time and a smooth gradation, whereas you want, I believe, actual visible brushwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, don't thank me. You're going to hate me.
One of the things that scares people about flat brushes is that they forget that they can just use the edge or they can just use the corner. And my China teacher used to be able to paint the most minute things with what we called a square shader, which would be about a size 4.
Yeah.
And she could do fantastic things with that, but you have to learn just to use that tiny little piece of it too.
Turn that brush.
Yeah.
So a square brush, I think of it as calligraphy. It can do the smallest marks and the biggest marks. And you can scrub with it or you can be ultra delicate. And we think of like, oh, I need a rabbit hair brush or a squirrel hair brush or some weird obscure Russian animal that nearly extinct and illegal to buy in the US brush, right? But we don't. We just need pressure. We just need finesse. Sorry, Regina. Go ahead.
No problem. How about synthetic hog brushes?
Yeah, I love synthetics. I hated them for years and years and years. And it was literally after my daughter left to college 3 years ago that I started stealing all her brushes. um, and I really like the synthetics, but again, I think of it like buying an orange paint versus just mixing yellow and red.
I think you didn't hear her. It was synthetic hog brushes.
Synthetic hog brushes.
I don't know what that really is. I just think of all synthetic brushes as being softer.
Well, it's an imitation of bristle.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
They're much softer, I think.
Yeah, I think almost like even behind me, I've got, a mixture of synthetic versus a hog bristle. And the hog bristle is very firm.
Mm-hmm.
And the synthetic is very soft. Well, it would be if it was clean. Very, very soft versus, and I think this is a synthetic version, but they're so soft. And having a soft brush is really nice. But I would prefer, all right, here's probably one of my softest brushes. And again, I think this is a synthetic of like a squirrel hair. And it is so soft. And it's really nice for getting in and just doing a little finesse work. But the truth is I rarely pick it up because I can just do it with my other bristle brushes. Excuse me. So are you guys still seeing our Padlet page?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. For some reason it blew up on me here, so I'm seeing myself. All right. This looks like a Diane painting, am I right?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey.
Like,
Very
I love that
beautiful,
one.
but I'm very confused by it at
Beautiful.
the same time. I'm not sure if I'm reading these as shadows or as purple plants and yellow plants.
purple flowers.
Purple flowers, yeah.
Yeah.
But this feels like it's in shadow, right?
Yeah. I think she had to leave.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, so I feel a little bit confused. It feels like in the shadow area is purple plants, flowers.
Yeah, I think part of
And
it's in
then-
shadow and part of the
Yeah.
plants are in shadow. And then,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, maybe the values are off a little bit, but when you look at what her previous work, I hadn't seen this until just now, and
Yeah, she just put it up.
yeah, and it's amazing the how she is getting into that illusion of some of these plants are in shadow and some of these plants are in the sunlight.
Yeah,
I think she's so close to that.
right. I think
Perfection.
it's just the matter of coming back in and lightening. Yeah, I think this is step 2 of 3.
But that's beautiful. It really makes me think of Monet.
Mm-hmm.
I love the hills in the distance.
Yeah.
I think they're lovely and subtle.
And I love
just
the variation of color tone in the foreground of those blues and into the purple. Wow.
Yeah, that goes back there.
I just wonder if the path, because it's in shadow, should be a little darker, a little less vibrant.
I actually read that as a stream because it was so light.
Oh, I see.
No, but I think it's a path. If you look at the earlier one, it looks like a path.
Yeah, I think she should go with stream.
When in doubt, stream it out.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think she's on the right path. I just think, that we're, like the trees and stuff. I wish she was here. I'd love to talk to her and hear more about it. But yes, very interesting. I'm curious about the growth pattern. Gosh, I don't know why it's doing that. Like, you know what I mean? These shapes. They're like hedgerows almost of flowers kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's interesting. I mean, it's getting very interesting. I think I think it
I
has
think so too.
potential.
Definitely has potential.
Yeah.
So, Diane, even though you're not here, please share the next step. I would love to see the light coming through. And can you guys hear the car outside?
Yeah.
Yep.
Always
Michael,
quiet.
will you put your microphone on your beard?
Okay, yeah.
You faded away and never came back.
All right, is that better?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
100% better.
Let me go shut some windows. This might be one of those instances where they're at work. All right, can you hear me now?
Mm.
Yep.
And no car honking?
Nope.
No car honking.
Oh, good. All right, just had to shut my window. Yeah, we've had that happen a couple times the last couple of weeks. Okay. Don, you still here with us? Yes, you are.
And it's a lovely
I'm
here.
composition.
I love this already at this stage.
Mm. Lovely composition.
All
Mm.
right. All right. So, Don, you're my favorite student just because you write all these notes and you do your thumbnail sketches and you do all this preliminary work. So I love seeing your thought process and reading about your thought process as you're building the image up. And I'm just joking, Don. You're my third favorite.
Quick demotion.
Yeah, yeah. The other two bribed me, so it's not your fault.
What's hilarious about this view is that one could think this is a gigantic easel with a gigantic painting.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Don, let's hear about it. What do we got going on here?
Well, I probably picked the wrong reference. I wanted to paint the scene because I took a photo in Acadia National Park, and I thought I could add a little bit of glowiness to it. And I kind of was a struggle.
So why can't you build glowiness to it?
Well, I think I could keep going. I'm starting to bring that across the water from left to right. And I want the trees to catch a little bit of it, but it was a very kind of subdued scene, and I wanted to respect that.
I like that little hint of reflection.
Where did you want the glow? In the water or in the sky? Because it's almost a middle division, and the water has got a lot of territory and not a lot going on, whereas the upper section has a lot more stuff going on. Where's the luminous going on?
Right. So I thought not so much luminosity in the sky, but more in the water.
Yeah, I feel like this is not very close to done because it feels like a black and white painting with a bit of color across the middle of it.
Right.
So I feel like how close do you feel like you are to done? Like, is this very much in progress?
For me to be happy with it, I'd have to go quite a bit farther, but I'm getting kind of tired of thrashing on it.
We've all been there.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
So you're just using glazing at this point, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I feel like you may have to come in and actually add some opaque color. And I mean, the sky feels like it. I know you're saying the light's over here to the left because I feel like this is a sun ray coming between these trees. but the sky is not telling me any of that. In fact, the light source in the sky seems to be over here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be kind of a foggy mist.
Yeah, and I'm just not feeling it.
Okay.
I mean, I feel it in the part that you've added color, but the rest of the painting, I'm not really feeling any temperature shifting across the scene. I'm not feeling, you know, what I mean, like warmth to cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you're really trying to sneak up on this painting.
Yeah, no
And I
doubt.
feel like you're gonna have to. I wish we could see the reference.
Yeah, I don't think I included it.
Love this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just feel like it's fighting itself at this point.
Sure.
Values in the sky aren't telling us what this is telling us. Also, black and white only versus color can be fun and interesting. Like I've done a couple paintings like that, but you really have to make it so that the black and white is reading as a cool, which it
Okay.
is, but I so want there to be warmth in this part of my painting or in the sky to tell us that the warmth is coming from this over here. And it doesn't have to be strong.
Right.
I feel like your design and composition are good, but now you need to be bold and brave with your color and light.
Sure.
I feel like in about 30 minutes of you being bold and brave, that this painting is going to be so different and you're going to really bring it to life. But you're sneaking up on it too much.
So it is more of a color issue rather than a value issue. Because to me, I feel like the value is, you know, they're sort of equally the sky and the water. You know, kind of don't. I can't decide who's king.
Yes, and I think that would be determined partly by the colors. Let's see. Yeah, I want to copy this and take it into Photoshop, Don, but I'm afraid that the fact that we're already 15 minutes over.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And we have a lot of us to go through. I would love to work on this with you.
Okay.
But what I would do is lighten and color temperature shift this area to just convince us that the light's coming from over here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because again, right now in your sky, the light feels like it's coming from here. But everything else tells me it's coming from over here. So your painting is fighting itself.
The great thing is that if you are brave and you don't like it, you can always give it a good wipe. And you never know what you might get. You might get just what you're looking for.
Right. So this is an acrylic underpainting.
Ah, right.
Yeah, the black and white was acrylic.
And now you're going over with oils.
Right.
So Beverly is 100% correct. She is right. You can go crazy. You could just literally wash this with Indian yellow. Well, I would add white to it. Indian yellow, scrub in some white, go to the reds, go towards whatever. I mean, I don't know what your reference is again. And then reds.
And just get rid of that little white spot that looks like it's light coming over the hill. Just paint that out.
Or just make this lighter than that even.
True.
Yeah. You're on to something. I mean, you got beautiful shapes, beautiful forms, an interesting idea. The reflections are interesting and fun. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wish we had more time to.
It's worth the battle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Louise turned in all of her paintings for her final project.
Except the cat.
Except for the cat.
My God. Roasted.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, these are fun. Oops.
Look that.
Man, you have been a busy little lady.
Yeah. Yeah. Haven't you heard? I don't sleep. Eternal
I
life,
kind
keeps
of
me
think
young.
we know. Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. A few weeks ago we talked about having those little thoughts where it's like, I'm not an artist. I don't know what I'm doing. I've kind of been going through that.
Oh, you mean Tuesday?
Yeah. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah,
24/7
exactly.
basically.
Yeah.
But I've kind of been wrestling myself a little bit with that because I have so many demands right now in my life that every time I sit down to paint, I usually have an idea of what I'm trying to do. I've been having to do a lot of kids' classes. I had to fire someone. It was quite the experience, but it just means that I've had to work more.
Sure.
So every time I get the train or I walk to work, I'm always like lugging canvases and I set them up at work and I just do like a little bit here and there with leftover paint. And I'm not really able to get any of the ideas I'm having to be fully formed. So instead, I'm just trying to work on color and value and small canvases.
Yeah, but
I'm
this
trying to
is
like,
such a perfect little
This is
note. Like
so
it's so
nice.
beautiful and thoughtful and
Yeah.
So if you had to choose one of those 5 or 6, that you had to paint that's it. You can't paint all of them. Which one would it be?
it depends. It depends because I think having these smaller canvases with my little moods, these are like my moods.
No, but if you're going to make it larger, if you're going to make a larger
Yeah.
version of one, which
Maybe
one?
this one. Maybe this one actually, because
yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah.
I love architectural painting. I love doing old houses, and I've always got this essence of like a human has been here but has disappeared. And it's always kind of this solitary, lonely melancholy in my paintings. And I think that this one, to me, I have memories of being there, but you guys kind of don't. So in my head, I'm like, here is a little postcard from my memories to you. And I would
From the
love to,
penitentiary.
yeah. It was near a penitentiary, but it's this abandoned botanical institute in a garden
Wow.
in France. Yeah, and the windows are all smashed and like all these weird things were there, and the shadows were just coming all the way across and sort of cutting the whole building just in half in shadow, half up in the light. And I've never put anything in a frame before, ever. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. So I did. And I feel pretty good about it. I would love to make that bigger and work on it more. But
It definitely has. I mean, you can see it sneaking behind over here.
yeah,
It definitely tells the most story. I don't know if that frame is the right one for it necessarily,
uh,
but
that
I think
it
this
was
frame would be better for it. But
yeah. I
that's
just
a hell of
didn't.
a frame.
I know.
I'm
It's
always tempted to put a slightly lighter shadow in those windows.
yeah.
So someone would think, no, that's not somebody. Well, maybe it is.
Yeah, there's a little touch of it. I just haven't been able to go back to it. That frame, though, it's going to have like a
If you
pet portrait flyer in it because the whole idea is this Baroque kind of luxurious portrait business. But I
going to
was just
make it
playing
bigger,
around.
how about making it slightly longer?
Longer?
Yeah, taller, more exaggerate that vertical. It's a
Yeah.
thought because I feel like I just want a little more space somewhere, and it feels like because you want that mood, that kind of mood, and I think that long thing is part of what makes it have that mood to me.
Yeah. And I think a little bit of it gets cut off by the frame as well, because it is quite a frame. But Yeah, the angle I find really interesting, and I really love getting unusual angles in architecture in my paintings. But
Yeah, I love the fact that it's not flat. Like that
yeah,
little bit of that
I
line,
never
that
do
line.
that. Yeah, yeah. It's always going down into some kind of a corner.
Mhm.
But I think the other one as well, that orange sunrise, that was another little moment. We were driving to pick up Athena a couple of years ago. And yeah, this one. And so I was exercising restraint. And I was looking to a lot of you guys for inspiration or encouragement on restraint and blending. And I was thinking to myself, okay, it's acrylic paint. I am going to make it look like oils. My dogs
Yeah,
just
I
woke
would
up.
have guessed
So
it was oils. Good job.
yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. And I also hate painting trees, so I have avoided it, but it's getting there. I say
I
that with
love it.
all of my
I feel like
paintings.
it feels like it's a photo out of a car, like just a
Yeah,
slice,
yeah,
like a
Yeah,
dash of life, like
yeah.
a moment.
yeah. I
Yeah,
often have,
it's very complete. I mean,
okay,
it's a
good.
complete painting. It doesn't need to go more. You don't need to go somewhere.
No, no. Yeah, the trees are perfectly described enough.
Yeah.
You
There
know,
We,
there are
I
these
love it when an
close
artist is
ones.
brave enough to let us just fill in the details.
Yeah. I think I did smudge it accidentally. Not accidentally. I just couldn't stop. I was loving it. Just
Mhm.
down where it's kind of that lighter gray in the foreground
Right.
below. And that I'm
reminds
not,
me of a Linda Camerata picture.
Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
That's what I thought it was,
Her
maybe based on one of hers.
the foreground in her pictures is always a bit too dark. But if you lighten them up, you can see all the stuff that's in there.
yeah, yeah. It is
And I
quite
like it.
small as well. So if I was to go in, I would probably get lost. I would lose my control a little bit and it would just become this marshy mess. So I want to just leave it,
No, leave
but
it
Just
alone.
sign
Like,
it.
no, I wouldn't touch it. I think it's just a
sign it.
perfect little snapshot.
I
I,
would
I,
never.
I love the sort of rough texture of the front in
Right, me
comparison to
too.
the distant smoothness, that wonderful transition from that purple into
Yeah.
the orange of the sky. It's a wonderful mix, the purple of the mountains into the orange of the sky. It's just as I can imagine it.
Yeah.
It's got exactly the right color, and you've got this textured front to this very smooth back. I think it's lovely.
Yeah.
Thank
What
you.
it makes me think about
Very
is,
nice.
normally I would say what's your focus, but we know the focus is that grade A, that transition of that purple,
Yeah.
the orange is the focus, not the foreground, not the top. And normally I would say let's soften these hills, but I don't want you to, because that's the thing, that
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
painting is about this line.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do really like the idea of out of focused horizons. And it shows up quite a bit, I've noticed in my paintings lately. But anything out of focus or a reflection of a landscape, I love painting like a car mirror and then painting the landscape in that. Or, being bent or something through a glass. Those kind of little things where it's just slightly unnatural and it's this forced perspective. I think that's also why I like those unusual angles, and nothing is really very flat when I'm painting buildings and things. And
I
yeah,
think when you can bring in an element of uncomfort, but you don't know why, that's really a nice, interesting thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And some people I've heard this quite a bit, that they look at my paintings and feel kind of lonely or uncomfortable in some way. But I kind of like that. I find those feelings to be quite comfortable because I'm usually alone when I'm painting these. So maybe people need to spend some more time on their own. Meet me in that zone, man.
I mean, Hopper made a whole career on that, of just this kind of uncomfortable loneliness. And
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, that's why I don't put people and stuff in my paintings, is I want you to just feel quiet and alone. And one of my
Yeah.
favorite compliments I ever got was, when I look at your paintings, I feel like I'm alone but not lonely.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Yeah. It just transports you away from down here in our real lives. And I'm working on this idea at the moment that all of my paintings are this in between. It's not quite fantasy or not quite realism or a snapshot of life. It's this in between place that we don't often get to be. So,
Yeah.
But I'm very happy with this one. I love it. I love the colors, and it's Prussian blue.
No, this is
just so
beautiful.
you know.
It really is. It's a whole complete, and again, it's like a tiny Polaroid of a moment, and it's just really nice. Yeah, thinking about that same element, like we have our cabin, which has, you know, basically four bedrooms, and so we'll have a lot of friends out. We'll stay up late playing cards and drinking wine, and I will disappear, you know, at 10 at night, and everybody's like, "You're going to bed? We're hanging out. We're partying, drinking wine." I'm like, my favorite part is not you guys. It's waking up before you guys and sitting out at the lake by myself in the fog.
Yeah. I totally get that.
We're all tired of looking at Gail's stupid paintings. So let's go ahead and go to Graham.
She's wonderful, but
No, we already talked about this painting. All right, Graham. Oh man, I don't even know how to start this conversation.
He is amazing.
All right, we'll start here.
That
All right,
was
Graham, you're up.
That was the beginning concept, the photo I used.
This is such a good black and white. Like, this is such a good, strong value base.
Yeah. I think that I took that photo out of a car, and then and it was a pretty gray day, so it wasn't much to turn it into a black and white with my computer. And so that's what I got, and that's what I worked from to do the black and white of that top one. If you swipe, no, you go to the top and swipe right. Just swipe it. You should find the
If
other
I
one.
swipe right, that means I
click.
like it, and now we have to go on a date.
There you go. Yeah.
That is fabulous.
So that's the black
Very
and white.
nice.
Yeah. I did from it. Then I colorized it with oils, and that's what that came out to be. And
wow.
This feels like a photo. I mean, I hate when people say that about my work.
It's
but
great.
This feels so perfect.
It has some three-dimensional look to it, I believe. Yeah.
It's got a simplicity
Glorious.
and a complexity that's great.
There are also little dabs of green in the trees that you can.
Yeah.
I love those. Yeah, the teal.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Those are great.
I love that you always have some kind of discordance in that way. We don't naturally pick that up, and if we do, it's usually tiny little flickers here and there that just you wouldn't even notice. And I like that you always keep them I don't even know, blocky or something.
Oh, blocky. Yeah, I was thinking subdued,
you know?
though. Like, that's
but
your
yes, yeah.
They're like your prize. Like, oh, there's some jewels over here.
Mm.
If you
Yeah,
spend
yeah.
enough time here, then you get over here. And there's also purple down in here.
Right, reflecting the sky way up there. So
beautiful. I love the sky.
Beautiful it is, really.
That's mostly the black and white. Now there's a lot of rubbing on that sky.
Mm-hmm.
Many layers and many layers of rubbing off came to that. It's not exactly what I was going for in the beginning, but I like the way it was turning out. So
beautiful.
Does this mean he's graduating?
Never graduates, constantly in education. And those little dabs of green I got from you,
I don't
Michael.
know what to say. Yeah, no.
The last
section. Man, it's really good.
Oh,
it's really good. It's really interesting. Again, the like dashes of color, like part of me is like, oh, I wish they weren't so dashy. but other parts of me are like, no, I love the fact that it feels like jewels. It feels like little jewels. Yeah, and the bounce, there's things that I would do differently, but I don't want to say because I really like what you're doing. And I love the feeling of this. I mean, yeah,
it's kind of
I almost get sad that I keep praising your work. I really want to I want to pick on you more.
That one looks better in real life than it does
Gorgeous.
in that photo. But
Beautiful it is. Wow.
Yeah, and you're
again,
getting more abstract and more curious. And look at these weird swirly brushwork. And yeah, I started following an abstract painter, an acrylic painter who is just recently starting to mix oils into his paints. And he's really having a great time building up these textural, thick white brush strokes and then coming in and glazing. He literally hits the brush strokes with color one way and another color the other way, and they create these really interesting illusions. And yeah, I feel like that. I feel like you kind of wiped it back, and where it was smooth, it wiped away, and then where it's stuck into the texture of the brush strokes, those darker warms are sticking. Is that right?
yes, and I'm also finding that something you said before is finally got into my brain, that when you're doing the black and white, to keep it on the lighter side than the darker side, because the lighter grays are easier to glaze the color over. So
yeah.
I love the energy in the piece.
Yeah.
I just think I think it's thrilling. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful
Over
it is.
here. Come on.
Sort of remnants of Michael's gesture class.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
The colors always remind me of, I don't remember his name now, but a couple of months ago, I shared that guy who paints lamps and like staircases and
Yeah.
things.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, in those really vivid nocturnal colors where it's like the indigos and the phthalo greens and that kind of stuff.
Oh, right.
And I like that you allow those colors to feature heavily in your work, and it doesn't have to be something that tints another color.
And
Yeah.
somehow you're avoiding brown because you got blue, yellow, red, green.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be brown.
Putting that blue up front was new for me, but I really like the way that it sort of.
Yeah, it looks nice.
What was
Sort
the
of.
basis of that blue color? What did you have a base blue for that?
What do you mean?
Well, like, was it cobalt blue
Oh, no.
or?
I think it was probably a mixture of ultramarine, maybe a little bit of quinacridone red, white, and maybe a touch of manganese. I'm not sure because I had a whole mess of stuff on my palette.
Yeah, it's just a fabulous blue.
Having seen the previous one, the previous tree one, which also had these surreal color passages, by the time I got to the one we were just looking at, I said, this you've created your look.
Yeah, your signature.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that becomes the challenge with teaching some of you guys. And that it's happening with a number of you where you're kind of creating your own thing. And it's, as an instructor, it's like, how do I not teach that out of you? Like, how do I not give you bad advice?
It's so different. It's night and day, this one from the other one. So
Yeah, it does.
But you can still tell it's the same hand.
Oh, you can?
I can.
Maybe you can. I don't know if I could.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but it's just fun.
This is the one that stands out the most, not in a good way. Just it's so different. This is it's textural, whereas I like your smooth elements as well, and your big.
Yeah.
You're just willing to let big areas be themselves, and not overwork, and yeah, nice work, man.
Well, thank you.
I'll tear you apart when we do our next one-on-one.
I can't wait.
Oh, Jada just
Wow,
cut down
so
all the
nice.
trees.
Oh, that's
Uh-oh.
lovely.
Beautiful it is.
Oh, it's not. This is. I had a very hectic life in the last month, so I just could not get to it. And so, in fact, I was thinking of painting on it today, but I'm going to be doing the oil. This is acrylic, and I realized with this architectural thing, I had to use acrylic. I had to fix the image of the house, but I'm looking forward to. Yeah, see, I don't. That tree is like this. I've got really better ideas of the tree in a kind of semi-shedded. The leaves are going to be gone. There's going to be. I'm really looking forward because I'm going to do it with oil. I'm going to do it with the water soluble, and I'm going to let the water soluble have its drips. You see the tree on the right? That's all going to be drippy, and the tree on the left is not going to be so heavily leaf. It's going to have very little leaves because I want the whole feeling. You all have been visiting this house for some time, but I am determined. I am determined that I'm going to finish it because this is not really, but like Eloise was saying about having the personality. This house is such personality. Every time I go by it, I say I've got to paint that human being that once lived in that house. And so the leaves, although every season looks amazing with this place, I really feel like to get the feeling the tree on the left particularly is going to have many fewer leaves. It's going to be more about all the branches and tendrils and the shadows from them. And I'm not going to go haunted house. I'm just going to go lonesome.
Yeah, leave that to me. I'll do it.
You know what's so fun for me is, knowing your background, knowing your history of your work, and hopefully it's okay to say as an actress, and that you're looking for the character. You're looking for the personality and the thing. Like I just hear it and how you describe it.
Yeah.
And then like listening to Sandy or Graham just talk about his work, and I know his history as a writer and as a musician, and I hear like the musicality, like that he's looking for like this harmony, and like I just love the fact that I get to know this about you guys and get to tap into that, and just like I really feel like you're really like, if I was this house, how would I play her?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really interesting, and you're just, I don't know what the word is, but you're just diving deeper and deeper into it, and just like, what is the thing I want to bring out of this house, this personality?
Well, it's an interesting, complex thing for me because it's also, the whole detailing of this thing. I mean, I obviously was an illustrator, so I could actually, make it an illustration, a magazine illustration, which it leans in that.
It is at this point almost, yeah.
And I don't really, I want to be able to step outside that a bit and let myself play a little more with the techniques and things like that. Because of course, that's really why I'm in the classes. I just need to keep producing stuff. And this has taken way too long, but it's partly because I was trying to get back to using acrylic and I was trying to learn the new materials, but I don't want it to be too much of an illustration, but and I love illustration. Don't get me wrong. I love illustration. I just think some of the best paintings in the world are the illustrations that were done, but I want it to be more to that style, more toward the fine art side of illustration. We'll see.
Yeah, I think Bernie Fuchs a little
bit.
Exactly.
Bernie Fuchs with the light coming through the leaves and stuff. Yes.
All right,
I really like that you did the whole house.
I love that.
You're going to let those leaves come down in front of it.
Yeah.
Because so many people would just kind of sneak in little pieces of the house. And this is the way I would approach it because I would want to see that house through the leaves.
Yeah. Well, I figure also because I'm going free fall when I go for the leaves and the trees. I'm with this water soluble oil. I'm planning to go free fall, which means some of it's going to be revealed and some of it isn't. And the only way I could do that is put the whole house in and now let myself cover whatever works. And
I'm truly fascinated. Like I cannot wait to see where this goes.
Well, I can wait.
I'm terrified for you because you've put a lot, so much work.
Yeah, but
and I kind of can't wait for you to move forward, to your next thing. But
I love that.
And I love this simplicity in this. Like it's like the counter, it's the counter painting, the other one.
It's so pretty.
Nice water.
Very
I
nice.
love that pink.
Yeah, I want you to do a lot of creeks when you do water. I want to make sure you have a lot of creeks.
I like the sparkle, the light on the water that isn't
Yeah.
I was practicing the luminous stuff, and I think one of the lessons I got from you was about the light, how if you devalue it, the light of the dark part should be very close to the lightest of the sky. I didn't succeed, but I did try to make.
Why do you think you didn't succeed? I was literally just about to praise you for how much you succeeded.
It's wonderful.
Gorgeous.
Well, well, let's put it this way. I was looking for even more drama.
Oh, you wanted more drama. Oh,
maybe so. Yeah.
No, I love the subtlety of it. My only suggestion would be to bring a little bit of a red wash over
there,
this, and a bit of a red wash across these lights. And I think it's going to harmonize even just that, but very thin, just so it's not yellow. This bright yellow little spots here are fighting.
Yeah,
and they're not as harmonized, but
yeah, I can see.
I really like this. And I remember you and I having a conversation about the hillside.
Right.
It's the dike in my world, so I took it out. But you were saying, oh, it feels really natural. And I was like, I don't know if it does, but it 100% does.
Yeah, but this is a case where the reality, and that's holding you back, actually, because you're so convinced that everybody will see it as a dike.
Mm-hmm.
And, every time you would point to it, I go, really, I get what he's saying, but you'd have to clear some of the grasses in front for me to be able to see it just looked like a rise. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to quickly jump back. So I love this. I really do. And I think when I talk about poetry, this is a really good example.
Yeah. It's lovely.
It's almost minimalism.
Like, don't touch it.
Really? That's so beautiful.
Might get burnt if I touch it.
Which window on did you go back? Oh, here.
Yeah, there's.
I love there's such good sister paintings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We could have a show of every one of us who painted this particular scene.
Yeah, and I love that we all see it and interpret it. And
different.
I know that if you painted it again, or any of us painted it again, it'd be a different painting. What I love and hate the most is that it really makes me dislike my version of it.
Oh
no, it's fine. It was a good experiment, and I just need to push it now. I need to take it to the next level. And yeah, I'm so proud of you guys for making it really nice.
Well, we're proud of you. You've done a pretty good job, kid.
Wow.
Oh gosh, who's done that? Wow.
Exquisite.
Oh, I know who's done that.
Gorgeous.
Isn't it
Oh, beautiful. My God.
Yep.
Poetry. Definitely.
You started with that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So talking about, learning to intentionally think about what was going to be on top of that area and what could be peeking through, and getting that vibration of contrasting colors. So I put that's pretty much just Quin Rose, very thin in the bottom, because I knew the green is going to be all greens going over it. So doing a contrasting color underneath. And same for the sky.
Have you studied the Impressionists?
No.
So this is all me?
Yeah. Really, I was just trying to apply. Seriously.
No, but that's literally what I read about in some of the Impressionist writing about the contrasting undercolor and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's so scary for me to do it. And That is so crazy that ended up this.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, I did the reverse. I painted the green first and then did the red.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I came over in the low horizon, just above that bluish,
Hill.
distant landform. I really juxtaposed a greenish color with a kind of what I would call a fuchsia color. It was just based with the quinacridone rose based color to see what it would do.
I love the vibration of the sky.
Exactly.
It does
Yeah,
work.
that's what I was
You
going to
know?
say. This is such a good example of if we turn this into a black and white, like it would just disappear. Like it is literally temperature and shifts. I mean, you'd have a grayscale from the light to the dark, but it's mostly temperature based.
Yeah. But I was trying to apply those principles because they seemed really, really important to me. And that is what I took away from this class.
Yeah,
the
really
biggest thing was let's see how I can make that work.
I really like that. I really like that. I mean, it still feels like you're painting. It's very subtle. It's very almost tonalist.
Yeah.
But it's restrained celebration. Like it's a classy party.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
I would love to be able to put my
understated, but at
name
the
on
same
there.
time, so dynamic.
How
What's
big
that?
is it? How big is
It's
it?
12 by 16, so it's a little tiny bit bigger than I've been working because I tend to work small.
Yeah.
Absolutely glorious.
Yeah, beautiful it is.
A clever lady.
You could go huge. You could go
Well,
huge.
Get a
You
lot
could-
of support and new ideas.
You should take it and make it huge. Make a huge version.
It's exquisite.
Oh, that would be so scary. This was scary enough. I mean, for now.
Right. So there's a couple things that I want to celebrate. The first one is in this area. The subtlety and the restraint here, like the fact you didn't bring these crazy brights here. You just gave us a little bit of light. That's something I wish I would do more, and really nice. And then these transitions going from the light to the dark, back to the light. And then this blue strip. I don't know if I would have come up with that. I think that's really interesting, and it fits because the values stay. Like it's not dark, it's not light, it's like almost the same. Again, squint your eyes, you guys, and it's almost the same value as the skyline right above it. But it's all about temperature shift.
What do you mean you don't know if you would have done that? Put that in at all or put it in as that color?
Yeah, I think that color is just brave. I think it's very bold.
Beautiful.
And it feels, again, if you just focus on this blue, it doesn't feel like it should fit. But then when you like look back, move your head back or squint your eyes or whatever, it reads so beautifully as a counter color.
Yeah.
And then I would think, oh, I need to bring that blue into other areas. But it doesn't. And then watch how it just bleeds out and disappears. And I think that's what does it. If you'd have kept this boldness all the way across, it would have felt like a weird brush stroke, right? But the fact that it disappears and blends in, I don't know. Yeah, it's really interesting.
I've just taken a photograph of it and I've put it into black and white.
Oh, good.
I've done, and you're absolutely right. The subtlety of the gradation of values is absolutely spot on.
Yeah, because I was squinting at it before trying to figure out if it's really slightly darker than the sky above it.
Okay, here we go.
I'm
Ready?
curious too, because I didn't even do this after I painted it.
Wow.
Yeah, it is slightly darker.
But
Slightly. And then
yes,
I really think the key element was the bleeding in.
disappearing. Yeah.
And it reads so well. I mean, this is a beautiful image. Watch what happens when I just, oh, I need a little color. All of a sudden, you're just a tonalist again.
And I love the way you've got dark on the right side with those bushes, and then dark on the left side with that cloud.
Yeah.
And
To
here's how a
balance
lot of
it
people,
out.
here's how a lot of people would paint this, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
would.
felt that had to happen to balance those trees.
Yeah.
Had to have that darker cloud.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, I think you must do a fair amount of painting outside or a good deal of experience with naturalistic look, because that's what this is captured. I mean, that looks like several places I've been at that time of day.
Yeah, I'm really trying to be a student of marshes, because this is where I live now.
Oh.
In the land of marshes and boring beaches. And
Where is that? Where is it?
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Ah, right.
Yeah, boring beaches. Because I was brought up in very interesting beach area in the northeast of the country. So, rocks and all that stuff. And me. Yeah. So to me, the marshes here are actually the more interesting thing than the beach.
They fascinate me.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's where I would be painting as well.
Yeah. So much
I'll sell more beach paintings, but this
Yeah.
is what would interest me.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
I'm so proud of you. This
Thank
is so
you.
nice.
Beautiful
So,
painting.
again, subtle.
Well, it's a lot of things that I've been learning in the last 2 years applied. And don't say I'm brown nosing, because I don't really mean to, but I'm just saying that there are some good principles that I've learned that I've been able to apply.
Yeah, this is my kind of country up here on the coast up near
Yeah.
Long Island, and I have a marsh that looks and you've inspired me. Now I'm going to get myself out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and to answer your question about plein air painting, I never considered myself a plein air painter. And it was years when we were traveling in our RV, and all I had was I did watercolor and watercolor wash and ink.
Yeah.
And so I did that plein air. That's all I really could do. That's all I could really bring. And so but
We used to just call it painting outdoors.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what I always thought of it as too.
Right.
Anyway, nice, really nice.
Thank you.
Oh, no, I like all of those. And I'm Jay, I like yours too.
Work in progress.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Is it oil or acrylic or what?
It's water mixable oils.
Ah.
Nicely done.
But it needs a lot of work, and it still needs the trees because they're reflecting in the little puddle there.
Oh, it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Is this the same image?
Yeah, if you go down a little bit, yeah, there, and then you swipe left.
Okay,
I think, or
right,
whatever.
Okay, now it makes more sense. Okay,
I
good.
see. So there's ice there.
Wow.
No, it's just
water.
It's sand and
low
water.
tide.
Sand. Okay. Oh, you don't have ice there.
Sometimes, a little bit.
Has to be
Not as
very
much
cold.
as
It's
we
salt
do.
water.
Yes, that's right. It's got to be very cold, but it happens. So yeah, that's what I'm still working on. It's a whip.
There you go, whip. I love this image. I mean, I want to paint that. That is beautiful.
I know it's Tofino. It's just a bit more southeast. Is it? Yeah, southeast from Vancouver Island. Beautiful place.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, you live in such, I mean,
Yeah, that's painting country.
such an amazing area.
So that's my
So
little thumbnail that I
what I
made.
love, yeah, we'll come back to it. What I love is the movement of these trees, and then I see this little sky hole, so I know these like really thick under trees that grow. I hate this branch, like it would.
I know. Yeah.
And yeah, and my instinct would be like, oh, what if we made a little clearer creek? But I like that, you know, the naturalism of it's really nice. So
Yeah.
then you are here, you're interpreting, you got rid of that weird dinosaur branch.
Yeah. Just a little study, like I work the foreground with the mother colors, so I tried, like the colors never come out as they are, but I tried to mute the shade, the colors in the shade a little bit, so the yellow light would stand out more. It does stand out more, but it just shouts and it doesn't really sing. But maybe it will later. I don't know.
I mean, it can be a little bit punk rock.
It is punk rock, yes, totally.
I think it's quite like Van Gogh.
Yeah.
You know, all the way he does flowers and landscapes and things. This foreground looks very much like Van Gogh.
Yeah, there's the
I
brushwork
can
too.
see that, yeah.
I read too many of the books about him. Yeah,
Don't read to the end. They don't end well.
No.
Well, the ones I'm reading actually are, because this is about how we came to enjoy his art.
Okay.
Yeah. What happened between his death and the museums.
Yes, yes. I will try to share a video of Doctor Who's episode where he meets Van Gogh. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, I have.
Such a beautiful, I mean, I almost cry every time I see it. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
He gets
It
to
is.
come back and see the museums with his work.
Totally amazing. Yeah, it's lovely. So I had a quick question about one of the paintings that I the cool light and the warm shadows, which I totally interpreted all wrong. I know what you mean now. What you say, I know what you're saying. But I still find it so boring, and I don't know what to do with that painting. I was wondering, any suggestions? It's those dancing trees, those weird trees.
Uh-huh. In this painting.
No, it's not in this one though. It's old, so we don't have to really. I was just wondering.
I've got to keep moving forward because I've actually got an appointment here with a vineyard in a little bit. But yeah, I didn't think we'd go 2 hours long.
No.
Not that I mind. And this is beautiful, and I love seeing what you're doing, and I can't wait to see where it progresses to. And I think all the things where you're self-critiquing are correct.
Right.
No, it's wonderful. And yeah, I think when you are freer with your brushwork and your structure, that you're having more fun. And I think we all, you know, all the compliments you're getting in your previous work are about just painting and having fun and putting on the paint. And,
yeah, because I'm pretty hard on myself. When this one, I was very hard on myself with this one.
I swear, I mean, I swear I want to have two businesses, one where I'm a art teacher and one where I'm an art coach. And just like, you know, push it out, like, you're good, we can do this, you know. And I think that, again, we talked about this earlier in class, but the mental side is just as much as the physical side. And it's the whole trusting yourself. Like, I know you've painted enough. I know you've put enough brush marks down. And then we start second guessing ourselves. And again, I do it all the time. I call it a Tuesday is, you know, when just, you know, what am I even thinking? Why am I even doing this? And I can't wait to see what you're doing. Have fun. Just keep having fun and going bold and putting down beautiful brushwork and everything else. And who's this? This is beautiful.
Those-
Phyllis.
Phyllis?
Okay, so nobody can talk when Phyllis is on the camera, unfortunately. Oh, wait, no echo. Let's hear it, Phyllis.
Is there an echo now?
Only if I talk.
No,
Oh, that can work. Okay. So yeah, you hold down the space bar when you want to talk, and I'll try not to talk at the same time. So lovely colors. Look at that transition.
Heavenly shades of night are falling.
All right, nobody talk. Phyllis, this is your turn. Tell us a little bit about what you got going on here.
It's just one of my favorite views of the gorge, and I'm sorry I didn't include. It was just a picture that I took, but I embellished it. I'm thinking that it's not quite done, and I don't know what to do to finish it, or is it done? I'm very much interested in your opinions.
Cool. All right. Glad you took your hand off the space bar. I have opinions. I love the sky. Like this is a color transition that I would love to do. Love the almost greenish blue in the sky to the purples, to the fuchsias, to the all the way up. I think what you would do, and we'll ask for other opinions here in just 1 second, but what I would do is actually darken some of these darks just to bring this ground, because if we squint our eyes, it's almost the same value as the sky behind it. So I would just darken these, which would be easy, and not all of it, just the bases of them, just the where they meet the ground. And all of a sudden this piece is going to come to life.
Maybe put a little red in the green.
Like on top here.
Yeah, just because tonally it's such a jump color-wise.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. A little dark and a little bit of warmth on top.
Could you sneak a little bit of green into that next layer?
There's that too.
So Phyllis, I do have one question. Is this sky above the trees, or is that part of the gorge that we're seeing?
That is part of the gorge and water. Yes. So the it's the part above the trees is water, then the pink is a reflection, and then that darker blue is the shoreline.
Okay, so that part doesn't quite work for me because it feels like it's really, really rushing downhill. And I guarantee you, if you showed us the reference, that it'd be much flatter. I would take this whole purple line and flatten it out. What I would actually do is just say that, did you guys, I mean, I don't know if you guys read that as ground and water and ground again.
Yes.
Yeah.
But does it feel like it's coming downhill?
Maybe a little.
Huh.
Part of the sky.
Yeah, I read this as all sky, like a
Yeah.
dark cloud, light sky.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe I'll just call it sky.
Yeah, it's that angle, I guarantee, is not in your photo. It just can't be. It would
I
have to
agree.
be.
That bottom part should come up a little bit, a little more water there,
Mhm.
because it narrows too much.
No, I didn't want to do that.
So you're right, it does look like sky. So maybe I shouldn't just put any water. Just leave it as sky, right?
I mean, that'll be your easier option. Yeah. Do you see how this feels like it's coming downhill?
A little bit.
I don't know why you're saying a little bit. To me, it feels like a lot of bit.
Mm-hmm.
So the gorge is the Oregon Gorge or Columbia River Gorge is very, very dynamic. but it's not flowing very fast.
Yeah.
There we go. So view, fit on screen. So I'm not positive how to do this. So I'm just going to do it in the most rudimentary version of it. Actually, here we'll just do the most rudimentary version of it.
Okay.
Yeah, now it looks good.
Yeah, way clearer.
And I understand why you feel like it has that angle, but I promise you it doesn't. Even still, it feels like clouds. Like I could move it. And I bet you that feels more natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, oops, sorry. There you go. And I mean, truthfully, I would even flatten it out even more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would love to see the reference, but your colors, I mean, I think Phyllis, you're really good with color and transition. I think we just need to work a tiny bit on your perspective. And what I want you to do is start overlaying and just creating lines across your reference, your water, because you've done this in another gorge painting, which again, the gorge is very much worth painting. Look back. Yeah, this one. And it's the same thing. Like these angles are much less. And what it will do is it will help the gorge to lay down and not feel like it's coming down a hill. Like this feels like a stream almost.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, again, these are my favorite kind of things to help people with, because it's a little bit of a shift will make a big difference. But man, oh man, I want to paint this sky so pretty.
Yeah, wonderful color.
Yeah, and the turquoise against it, and like the purples, like, yeah, so much goodness going on. So yeah, I think I would just fix that, or just turn it all into sky and a tree line.
Yep, I'd go sky.
Yeah, I would do that for this version. And then let's keep working on the gorge. And why don't you and I have a bit of a conversation before, and I will just show you some line work that we can do to make it make sense, because you're so close. You're so close.
Michael, on that gorge, does that water, is that an inlet? Like, is that like semi salt water or?
No, it's coming all the way from Montana. It's a huge water system that goes down and down and down, and it's literally a gorge. So the water coming through, unless it's windy, is really flat. And yeah, it gets, you can get, we have sturgeon in there, and every once in a while we'll get sea lions and stuff. So
Yeah.
animals come up, but they're not salt
But
water.
it's not a river that my rivers flow downhill where I live.
They do, but they're very subtly going downhill.
Okay.
Like we do have steelhead and salmon and things that are coming up, but we have dams, so they're getting kind of messed with. But as they're clearing out the dams and different things, yeah, it's very subtle.
But
It's flat water.
It's the
Yeah,
Columbia River.
Sorry, Phyllis, go ahead.
But it is a river. It's the Columbia River. It's as big as 3 miles wide in some parts. So it is a very significant river, so I don't know. I have to think
No,
about
it is. Sorry, I can't help myself. It's huge, but you never ever look at it and say, oh, it's coming downhill. You know that it's flowing towards the ocean.
Okay. But it's flat.
It's flat. Yeah. You know that there's a current to it. I mean, boats, yeah. But it's got a rip to it. I mean, it's fast water.
Years ago, so when I was having trouble keeping water lying down like it should, I was told to imagine their railroad tracks. And railroad tracks coming at you or going sideways are always laying flat.
Always laying flat. Yeah, like Phyllis, you did a good job on this, like where see the straight lines across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it is a difficult thing. And when we know that there's a flow or a movement or whatever else, it is one of the most difficult things I think to paint perspective wise. Like we'll come here and look at Regini's painting. And this is easy because this is just slack water. This is just a pond. And so we know, you know what I mean? It's just flat as can be. So, yeah. So this park is right over the hill from me and is about to reopen. They close it during the winter to preserve for the birds and everything else. So I'm looking forward to it. And actually, it might be open next week. And we'll get to go see the baby animals and the baby birds and everything else. And beautiful, beautiful trails, 3 miles around it. And once again, Regini has painted one of my photos and made it so beautiful and so dynamic and so interesting. And I remember this morning that I took these photos where all the clouds and all the roads were doing the same thing. I thought it was so interesting. Yeah, so dynamic. So tell us a little bit about this, Regini, what you're working on and what your thought process was.
Yeah, I liked the photo very much, but I think after finishing it, I realized that maybe I painted it too dark. There is no light, probably enough light. Or I don't know. The photo is not that great.
How I picture your picture. Sorry. My
Yeah.
wife is home now and the dog is free and gonna go love on my wife. Yes, well, I really like it. I mean, you've got a really nice design. Let's go back to the photo reference. So you definitely do see like a lighter side of the sky and a darker side, lighter side of the water, lighter side of the trees.
Cooper, that's not.
What's that? Oh, Cooper.
Cooper, yeah.
I'm used to you scolding me. So yeah, what you did was just flattened it out and just took away a light source. So in the photo, and it's not right or wrong, you just changed it. So you took the light source from here and turned it to, I don't know where the light is, maybe somewhere above. Like this is really interesting and very dynamic, almost too dynamic in my book. Like it's almost too perfect. Like everything has the same vanishing point. So do you see the difference?
Yeah.
You treated every stripe the same.
Yeah, correct.
Which is going to be an easy fix for you. You just come back with some lighter colors. You know, you make some of these darks less dark, keep the darks on this side. Beautiful soft edges on here, an unfortunate hard edge here.
Oh.
I like
so this will be such a quick fix.
Okay.
I have one question though, apropos of horizon line, that maybe if you took a ruler across the bottom of the top of the water, you might find it's undulating a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'll correct it. Thank you.
Yeah, this painting is so close. You're
Yeah,
really
color is
yeah,
great.
this is like 20 minutes of painting back in, getting some interesting shapes, fixing your light source a little bit, making it just so it's not perfect. Like you took it and made it literally so dynamic.
I love the
And
little bit of orangey light on the right coming along the horizon. Yeah, that.
I love these reflections right here. Yeah. And again, this tree is like, I would die to paint this tree. It's so gorgeous. These soft edges, and surprised Nyla hasn't told us there's a squirrel over here.
There is a squirrel there.
I see him. I see him.
And 2 dogs.
Yeah, wonderful. Easy, again, easy fixes. Let's just come back, revisit. Yeah, I have hardly any notes. And I think you would have told me the exact same thing now that you're seeing it from a distance and with a little bit of, seeing them on top of them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can see
Compare
that
these two. You're so close. Geesh. It's a really good painting, Regini.
Yeah, thank you.
Kind of amazingly so. Like you really got your shapes and your perspective and your depth. Yeah. I'm excited to see this. Oh my gosh, I was showing my wife this the other night as well.
Beautiful.
I don't even want to tell you what she said about this.
Oh.
She said she's cheating. That's AI. Look at that glow.
Beautiful.
That's fun. Yeah, what a nice piece. And I love that you did kind of impressionistic, broken work, soft edges. Look at that haze. Really, really nice. Got to be careful of your hills.
Yeah.
When they come across, that they don't just die off.
Yeah, correct.
I think your road could definitely get thinner
Mm-hmm.
back here.
Yeah.
So it goes back into space. And I would almost be tempted to turn it back one more time, back towards the sun.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
room to do that.
Yeah, that
definitely.
would look nice, actually.
And then I would soften some of these edges, transitions.
Mm-hmm.
Bring a little bit of light onto the edges of these grasses that are catching that last bit of light.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
That haze and that soft, subtle glow there.
Yeah, the sky gradation is nice.
Really is. And I love the grays that you're willing to use.
Yeah.
The clouds are a little odd for me, but
a little broken. Is that what you mean? Like a little spotty?
Well, their color is very strong, and their edges are fairly crisp.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's airliftable.
Yeah.
It feels like they would fall to the ground a little bit.
I love that. So I like to say I like to keep my clouds soft and aloft and my rocks hard and grounded.
Yeah.
And these do feel like they could be rocks and just drop right down.
Because the sky is so gorgeous behind it. So,
Yeah, I would contemplate either lightening some of these darks.
Okay.
And softening and then merging a little bit of the spottiness possibly.
Okay.
Yeah, this area, a little bit of light into this area, and then contemplating what you might want to do with your clouds. And the good news is they're dark, so it's much easier to lighten them
Yeah.
and soften those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm cooked. You guys cooked?
Mm,
We're an hour and a half long here.
Nice work.
Is this the same painting?
Yeah.
How did you make it change so much?
Oh,
I like it. I like
Yeah.
this one better,
Oh,
Really?
really?
I think.
yeah, these clouds are definitely floating. They're not falling.
They're softer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that Regini's been dealing with. But like, look at the airiness, Regini, in your clouds here and here. And soft edges really make, if you want to have things on the ground, hard edges help, and then soft edges in the clouds.
Yeah.
And then also keeping bigger shapes of light and shadow. Like this is so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where this one becomes a little bit.
Michael, how the previous one, can you see?
Mm,
The one below it?
the blue one.
Blue.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought we looked at that one. We didn't look at it?
No.
No, it's nice.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful. I'm sorry. I thought we looked at this one before.
No.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
I really like it.
Yes.
Maybe
I'm
the
like
water should
just
be
studying
little
it. The only
lighter.
part I don't like is here.
Yeah.
And I think if you just didn't have this tendril,
Mm-hmm.
it might be better.
It's a seagull beak.
Yeah, the anteater, whatever it is. Yeah. It
And
looks like an animal and a beak or a nose or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That's it. But it draws my attention, unfortunately, because it's surrounded. But the water, I love. Gosh.
yeah,
And then these soft parts of your clouds on the outside of the painting.
Very painterly.
It's really beautiful. Truly, this is the only part that bothers me. And you could leave it and be fine, but I would probably break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And again, I know that that's probably in your photo.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stuff you have to question and go, helping or hurting?
Yeah.
And what is it doing?
Yeah.
And clouds are tricky like that, where they just all of a sudden do some strange little bit of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
well, it's also the sky is very dark right behind the bottom part of the beak. It's darker than it is.
It definitely draws your attention to it.
Contrast.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, here we got the reference.
Beautiful water.
Okay, so you can see it's more broken up, and it's not just
Yeah.
It's still dark though.
But
yeah,
this,
the sky is dark. Yeah.
it's the same on either side
Mm.
in the photo. In her
Yeah,
painting.
yeah, correct.
Yours is better. The water is so much more interesting in yours.
Yep.
And how you dealt with the horizon. Yeah, truly that. And that, I mean, poor Regini. She paints such beautiful paintings that were like this 1 inch of your painting. Awesome.
1/5 of a quarter inch, and you're all done.
Exactly right. Exactly right. All right, let's do stop share. Okay, do you guys see the group?
See you.
See me?
Now
All
about
right.
waves,
Oh, I can do
Michael.
stop.
About waves.
Group.
I love those waves.
I think it's whoever's talking.
Oh, well, just go up to the top right and put gallery view if you want, or you can keep it on
I
speaker.
see everyone.
Okay. Yep. It just depends on what view you're doing. Top right corner. It's like 9 squares. Tap that. Anyways, we're done. Congratulations. Most of you are getting B's or above.
That's good.
I
But
failed.
don't
I
worry.
didn't turn in
You'll,
them.
you'll all
Fine.
graduate. Yeah.
I think you get an A+ with stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You've been absolutely amazing. Learned so much, and it's been incredible fun, and everybody's enjoyed it. You're
Yeah.
a true
Exactly.
superstar.
You
Fabulous
guys
teacher.
are so patient. Thanks for letting me have an hour and a half long classes or too long of classes. And yeah, I'm just so glad that we got to spend time and really appreciate each other's hard work and efforts. And it's just so neat that you guys all know where everybody else is going, the direction, the efforts, the challenges. And yeah, I'm excited. And so I look forward to getting the band back together, as soon as we can.
Are you
And
going to keep the Thursdays?
I still need to find out. They're finishing up their classes with OSA, but what I'll probably do is sign up for my own Zoom account. Just means, I got to spend some money, but that's okay. And then we can do it whenever we want.
Well, I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, I'm sure people wouldn't mind contributing to
Oh, no, you're
cover the
fine.
cost.
No, I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll figure that out. But anyways,
let us know.
Nyla's grandsons all over the place, grandchildren. Yeah, so I will just be in touch. We'll figure out the group. I've again have the Mastrius thing going. I've got the one-on-one thing going. Not trying to pressure anybody into doing that. It's just another option. I will try as soon as possible to get a class or a group going. We will have Thursday for sure tomorrow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to miss you guys.
We're going to miss you too.
Yeah.
Been a ton of fun. And I wasn't crying.
You totally were, weren't you?
We are.
Oh my God. I only cry with my paintbrush.
When my daughter was crying, I'm like, stop crying. She'd like go like this. She's like, I'm not crying, and then put the tear on my face like, you're crying.
Yeah, Riley will cry for me.
There you go.
Later, exactly. I'll tell him.
Well, have a wonderful summer.
Thank you. And yeah, we'll be in touch. I'll be, as soon as I figure out what's going on in our schedule for sure, and who's doing what, and when our camp trips are, and what plein air events I'm doing.
In show business, we wish people good luck by saying break a leg. So I'm saying to you, break a painting.
Yeah.
A brush.
As long as we don't say break an arm. Yeah.
No,
it's been wonderful hanging out with you guys.
I've had so much fun. You guys are amazing. I'm really,
okay, we're still
really
coming Thursdays, right? For a while.
Yeah, I'll see you at least tomorrow, and then I'll see if I can't learn more.
Okay.
So, yep, I've got my meeting with the vineyard here in 3 minutes. All right.
Oh, you better hurry.
Good luck.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah.